and I appreciate everybody still being out here. But I thought Miss Prange was awesome tonight, 3 for 3 with 2 bombs. And then obviously Tana was as good as she's ever been. She might not say that, but it's a really good hitting Missouri team, and they had a heck of a good weekend before this. So they were hot, and we realized that. And, we respect the heck out of them. I think they're going to do a great job wherever they go in a regional, and we wish them the best of luck.
All right, now we will direct questions for our student athletes. Start with Justin.
Yeah, actually, the student athlete's perspective, if you could, just the delay, the late night start. Can you just tell me, how does that affect you? Did it affect you at all?
I would say we have a pretty fun team. So I think that we honestly created some memories today that I know that I'll never forget. So I think that we stayed locked in and we were ready to go the whole day.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I know we kind of talked about right before we got off the bus that we were having the time of our lives before the game even started. So I wouldn't say it negatively affected us at all.
Ethan?
Yeah, I guess now tomorrow you're going to be playing Arkansas. If weather holds up tomorrow, you'll be playing Arkansas, the host team, and y'all played some close games with them this year. Just what do you have to do to come out tomorrow and try and perform to get a win?
They're obviously great all the way around. And like Murph said, we're really thankful to be here, and they're putting on a great production. So we're really happy about that and thankful. But I just think they're great all the way around. So we just got to show up and bring our best stuff and keep being us and just trust in the process.
I'll ask another one. Ashley, I know, of course, after the long delay and having a long day, you had a home run. And the first thing, just how important was it to come out kind of firing?
I know our offense as a whole, we try to take pride in scoring first. It kind of just gives us a little cushion and then allows her to kind of pitch more free. And we want to support her as best we can because she's had our back all year. So it was huge.
We'll turn it over to Zoom for questions. Katie, you may unmute yourself.
Hey, it's Katie from Bama Central. I have a question for both of y'all. First for Montana, how's the finger feeling? They were talking about it a lot on their broadcasts and zooming in.
Better than ever.
And then for Prange, just what has it been for you this year about hitting against Missouri pitching? I think now you have 4 home runs against them, lots of RBIs. Just is it kind of wishing you could face them every game?
I would just say today I was super locked in. I know we came here and we kind of had a chip on our shoulder and had something that we wanted to prove. And I think we took a lot of pride in that, and we worked hard this week. So it was fun. It felt good.
All right, sticking to Zoom, Maxwell.
Yeah, this is for both the players. Just, with postseason, obviously leaders are more, you guys are both leaders on the team. They're more important. How important was this 5th-year seniors for you guys to, set the tone and lead the team tonight?
It was really important, obviously, just because of the delay, but I think that we went into it. I know that we absolutely love Alabama and we would do anything for this place. So I think that to bring the best version of ourselves, we just have to have fun. So we were just reminding the team of that and just reminding them how awesome this tournament is. And just, you have to take one game at a time. So whether that's 8 hours late or that's early, whatever you have to do, we're just going to enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah, and kind of building off of that, there was a moment in the game where I was just kind of watching and I was like, there's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be than right here with these girls. And so I think that's just a really cool perspective. And kind of like you were saying, we do our best when we play fun and we play free. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight.
Right. Thanks, student athletes. You may be dismissed.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Coach Justin?
Curious, when Missouri scores, you answer back. And that's fight that your team seems to always have, no matter the situation, no matter the opponent, no matter the stage. Where does that fight come from within your team, within your program?
I think a lot of years of doing the same thing and then preaching it over and over and over. And it's a bounce back. We've had speakers come about grit, resiliency, exactly that. We had our golf coach come this year, and he said the biggest reason for their success is to bounce back. If you make a bad shot, you bounce back and make a good one. If the other team scores, you bounce back and either score or tie it or go ahead. And I think it's just a thing in the history of our program that we've prided ourselves on from day one.
Ethan?
Yeah. On a stage like this, having some veterans like the 2 that were just up here, just how different is it, I guess, whenever you go through a long weather delay like that, having a team with people like them on it, as opposed to maybe just a really young team?
Yeah, well, we had, obviously the 4 grads And then Jenna Johnson is a senior. She graduated. I saw it on the board that, where she got her degree, which is cool. So it is a veteran team. And when you have the catcher and the pitcher, both seniors, third base, that's a lot of veteran leadership. And I think it really helps us. And you're seeing it right now in our baseball team in Alabama. They're also a very veteran group, and they're led by a bunch of really, really good older players. And these two are doing the same thing. Shipman, Faith, Jenna, Bailey Dowling's been here, for a while. And I think that nucleus has really helped us. We weathered the storm this year. We've lost some games where we probably shouldn't have, but it's because of these two and the others that we're still here. We're still fighting for a regional host, and we want to do well here.
And then I know it was a while back in the scheme of things, but you played Arkansas already. It was a tough series, and now you're playing them here. They're going to have a lot of fans out tomorrow. Just what do you want to see from your team?
I hope the weather is great because, when we play in the SEC tournament and it's on the road, it prepares us for the next weekend, the next weekend, the next weekend. So win, lose, or draw, it's a win-win for us tomorrow night. And honestly, I'd rather play the host because then that this is it's going to be an away crowd. Obviously, it's going to be a pro Arkansas crowd, that's exciting for everybody. And when you play in the SEC tournament, you want it to feel like a championship event. And the SEC and Arkansas have done a great job. They covered the entire outfield fence. We walked in, and I was like, "Are we in Bogle Park?" Because it really, doesn't look like it. But obviously, that part of it is really, really cool because everybody that's here, it feels special. And it means a lot to us as coaches, the players. And when you guys come too, it means a lot. So I'm sure it'll be a great game. They'll bring their best, and hopefully we'll bring our best.
We'll turn it over to questions on Zoom. Katie, you may unmute yourself.
Hey Murph, two things if I could. First, with Montana, obviously she's always going to be willing to take the ball, but kind of in tournament scenarios, we've seen her pitch 3 A's in a row before, but kind of how do you balance what's best for her? And then also last time I talked to you, I asked, is this offense going to have to be winning low scoring games? Then we've seen over the last 4 games, them kind of turn things up. What have you seen change on offense over the last week?
Yeah, first, Montana question is, what's best for the team? What's best for her down the stretch? And, we've done, in the 3-game series with SEC, we've done first and second, and we've also done first and third with her. So obviously, it's a long day today, and we'll see how she feels. Almost every morning, and Katie knows this, the day of a game, I get a text message and it's from Montana. Hey, I'm ready to go. Regardless if she throws 170 pitches or 20. So I'm sure I'll get that text message tomorrow. And then what was the second part? I'm sorry, I forgot it.
About the
already.
Offense, what's kind of changed
Yes.
the last week, scoring more runs
Yeah.
the bat.
In the practices this week, we didn't do any sort of like drill work. It was basically we put them into groups, and they tried to score as many runs as possible within 3 outs, 2 outs, and 1 out. So they had the 3 scenarios of an inning. And I thought it was one of the best hitting practices we've had all year. They were terrific. So it's just basically get on base now. That's postseason, get on base, then somebody's got to get the key hit. And, Prange had a couple big time key hits.
All right, we'll stick with Zoom. We'll go Maxwell, and then we'll turn it to Eric.
Hey, Coach, I got 2 for you as well. I'll go them one at a time. Prange, obviously, the 2 home runs. How important was it? The one in the first inning to set the tone, but also, I guess maybe to just extend that lead a little bit in the 5th.
Yeah, it was huge in the first. We've had several. Cahalan last week against LSU was the first. It just seems like big time home runs lately, which is awfully nice for us. And then the one later on in the game, I think it knocked out their pitcher, which was a big hit, because she dominated us in Columbia. So 2 big hits from a big time player.
And then second, it seemed like that first home run by Prange kind of, I think it was like the next 9 at bats. They were all quality at bats, either with a hit or a quality out, or I guess productive out. You talk a lot about passing the bat down. How happy were you when you saw, that first and second inning stretch?
Big time. And, it was everybody in the lineup too. I think everybody in the lineup did something positive, whether it got on base, hit a sac fly, or got a bunt down. So all 9 spots in the lineup were productive. And I think that's really also what you need in a big time atmosphere versus a really good team, is you can get production 1 through 9, and you have a pitcher like Montana, it's probably going to be a good night.
Right, Eric?
All right, Coach, great to talk to you once again. I got 2 questions. My first question is, take me through this day with this weather. How do you keep your team focused, not knowing if you're going to play tonight or not? Take me through that process.
Well, thank God there was a really good coffee shop across the street from our hotel. It's called Boulder Coffee. If you're from Fayetteville, you know what I'm talking about. It was really, really good. Shout out to them. And I think everyone on the team went over there and got a big time shot of caffeine. But softball players are used to this. I guarantee you that Mizzou is going to say the same thing. They grow up playing in tournaments all over the country all summer long, and it's 5 to 6 games a day. Sometimes, if there's a rain delay, they sit in their car, they sit underneath a tree, whatever, and they wait it out. So this is nothing to them. It's more for us and you guys, the media, that sit around and wait. But they're used to this when they played softball since they were 5 years old.
And then my last question, I remember we spoke a year ago at this time in Gainesville after you played Missouri, and you talked about how your offense had lost some confidence and you had to try to find it. This group a year later has this confidence. When did you see this confidence coming? Because you've had chances to hit throughout there. You just didn't get that clutch hit, but it's now starting to come together, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Because, I was talking to a couple of friends and I was like, well, I'd be really, really worried if we were striking out 14 times and maybe got 2 hits a game. And the opposite, we were like leaving 9 people on base, but they got on base. And it's the toughest thing in softball and baseball to teach is key hitting. And you really can't replicate it in practice. It comes from within. It's like leadership. It comes from within a person, and you just got to have that clutch gene. And, we had a really young team. We had 8 newbies, 5 freshmen that played a lot, and they're starting to grow up, and it's really fun to see. And, again, Prange helps sets the tone. Bailey Dowling had a great game. Larissa Pruitt has been really, really good lately. SEC Freshman of the Week last weekend, and she was tough to get out at Ole Miss. She had a hit tonight. So I think it's just starting to, good hitting is contagious, and so is bad hitting. But I also think if you put in clutch hitting, it's also contagious. And I think it's starting to get contagious.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate it.